The Voice in the Ear. A Punch Girl Short Story by J.M. Riley. Chapter 1. Punch Girl roars into the warehouse astride a standard street-legal motorcycle, a distant relative of the custom Punchcycle she will ride in the future. She shuts off the engine and strides through the barren space, unable to envision her future toys. No punchcopter, no punchmobile, and no spare weapons populate the open concrete floor. Even the luxury of a spare punch suit hides over the distant horizon out of sight. She hasn't gotten there yet, and at this rate, she never will. She sits on the stool at her high drafting table, facing her single computer screen, and she whips her mask off her head. The mask's limp fabric slaps onto the stainless steel tabletop, and Punch Girl stabs a finger at her keyboard. "What are we doing?" Central responds through desk speakers wired to the computer tower beneath the desk. Tallying success? A purse snatching, a car break-in, not a carjack, a break-in, and a convenience store grab and go. Should we celebrate? Cake? Champagne? What do you think? Central says, "Crime reduction in the neighborhoods you patrolled tonight is around 80%. So no one else has tried to steal a bag of Takis and a 12-pack of Purple Mountain Dew tonight? At least the convenience store kid had a knife. That's something, I guess." You're wondering if you're making a difference. Punch Girl raises questioning hands. Aren't you? I would reframe the question. What makes a difference? Are you doing this for the public good or your own? Punch Girl fumes at the darkened warehouse ceiling, searching for Central as if she could find something to lay her hands on. After a few silent moments, her eyes level at the speakers on her desk. I have my reasons. I'm aware. Then don't ask such stupid questions. Punch Girl hops off her stool and paces a perpendicular line away and back. Away and back. Is anyone noticing what I'm doing? That's the only data I care about. Recidivism is down across all your patrol zones, and correlation data suggests this isn't working. Pattern analysis may be boring, but over time the maintenance will become routine. Punch Girl halts. Stop. Just stop. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about us. This. No one cares. I assure you that isn't true. Besides you and me. You want to make an impact. That requires a reputation which you must build. Punch Girl's eyes narrow and her mouth tightens. Easy for you to say. You have only been working on yours for a few years. Several years. I'm not a superhero. I'm not even a hero. What do people see when they look at me? A glorified security guard. Cosplay neighborhood watch. I think you underestimate yourself. My data? People know who you are. What people? Success comes when preparation meets opportunity. Punch Girl barks a laugh at the ceiling. Thank you so much, Confucius. You are in your preparation phase. Your opportunities will come. Oh, good. I was worried there for a second. I feel much better now. Punch Girl's sarcasm crackles around her, and Central allows it to dissipate. Perhaps a night off tomorrow will help you realign your physical and psychological needs. What does that even mean? Take a wellness day. One day won't make me well. Baby steps. Punch Girl stares at her boots stuck to the floor. Baby steps would be a miracle. So far, the only steps she has taken are backward. Chapter 2. The next evening, Punch Girl perches on an apartment rooftop overlooking an intersection. Loiterers and parked vehicles dominate the street corners, as the hoppers, the hustlers, the players, and the pawns wait for the shelter of night to conduct their nocturnal rituals. It's more of the same. Kids, mischief, a never-ending conveyor feeding the disenfranchised into the mill. She would have more chance of success standing in the middle of a swollen river, pressing the water back with her hands. In her ear, Central says, I see you ignored my advice. That's how this works. You advise, I assess. You avoided the warehouse. So? So, You're aware that I'm alerted when anyone enters the warehouse, including you. Punch Girl's hot exhale of breath rasps in her voice modulator. If you have something to say it. I'm suggesting it was deliberate. You left yesterday with the punch suit in your possession, ensuring you could patrol tonight without alerting me. Both actions were reckless. Yet you found me anyway. Not that I'm endorsing your fanciful narrative. We agreed I would watch your back. Do you hear me disagreeing? I hear an impatient child who wants to skip the work and get to the prize at the end. A child who lacks an understanding of process. The voice and the body conflict. You are no child, and you do not lack understanding. This would be interesting if it wasn't so boring. Maybe you should take a wellness day. You're making my point. Punch Girl watches the heads below her swarm like ants to and fro. They gather and separate, conspire and execute, so purposeful. Busy, 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 and she is no different. She is a slightly bigger insect. If you're interested, and you may not be, given your current attitude, there is a break-in in progress near the ship channel. Punch Girl rises and sprints along the rooftop ledge, unholstering her pistol. As she runs, she attaches a bolt to the pistol's cable, and at the roof's far corner, she snicks the bolt hooks free and latches them to a vertical iron vent pipe. She checks the hook and cable, verifying a secure connection, and eases over the roof edge, lowering herself to the ground. From the shadow of the building alley, Punch Girl starts her motorcycle and rockets into the street. I'm on my way. Solid storage warehouses, south side, Central says. What are they stealing? Unknown. How many? 6 at least. 3 vehicles. Cargo vans. Finally, something meatier than a teenager handing another teenager a cellophane bag of pills for a few filthy dollars. A burglary at a shipping depot means bulk raw material, if not for manufacture, then for sale. Dots connect, spawning new links, and Punch Girl twists the accelerator, pressing the motorcycle's engine to its limit. At the entrance to the ship channel's road network, Punch Girl switches off the bike and coasts to a stop. She stashes the vehicle and grapples and pulls herself up the side of a massive corrugated warehouse using the windowsill and railing footholds, expending far more muscle strength than she should have to. At the top, she winds her cable onto the pistol coil and traverses the shallow rise and fall of the warehouse roof, cloaked by the night. She listens, but apart from the whir of distant forklifts and the occasional beeping of backing trucks, she hears nothing. A quick survey reveals nothing, and she says, "Where am I looking?" The hum of tires on pavement turns Punch Girl's head, and she squats as 3 black vans round the corner and pass to her left. The convoy squeaks to a stop out of sight, and heavy vehicle doors open and slam closed. Punch Girl rappels down the face of her warehouse and sprints between structures until she reaches the backside of the target building. She peeks through a window corner and watches 6 unmasked men stage pallets of chemical drums with a hand-operated pallet jack. They do not try to conceal themselves or their noise. In the time it took Punch Girl to sprint over here, they parked, opened the warehouse, staged the chemicals, and now they're loading them. In minutes, they will be gone. Punch Girl ducks away from the window, inhales to speak, and swallows the words instead. She was going to tell Central that the thieves coordinated and planned this heist. This is no jewelry store smash and grab, but Central already knows that. A chill wave rises through Punch Girl's spine and spreads across her shoulders, settling in her lungs and taking her breath. Central said there was a break-in in progress. 3 vans, 6 men. Except it wasn't in progress yet. You knew. Say again, Central says. You knew they were coming here when you sent me. Did you set this up? Absolutely not. Probability matrices indicated a high likelihood of an incident connected to an ongoing series of thefts. Pop, pop, crash. 2 bullets puncture the warehouse's thin corrugated wall above Punch Girl's head, and the 3rd smashes the window, raining glass shards on the pavement. Punch Girl flattens herself to the ground, and fury floods her skull, pressing at the boundaries. Central lied to her. If he hadn't, she wouldn't have spoken to him. If she didn't have to speak to him, the bad guys wouldn't be shooting at her. Now they are, because Central lied to her. "Sit, Rep," Central says. "Shut up." Punch Girl slithers backward, away from the broken glass, as more guns join the first. Black puncture holes appear above Punch Girl, each with its own firecracker explosion, and behind them, vehicle doors slam closed. As the random, jarring bullets overlap, punching holes in the sheet metal and embedding in the next building over, Punch Girl ducks her head, and the van's engines rumble to life. The vibration tickles her ears and her gloves, pressed to the pavement. "I need you to trust me," Central says. "Pass." Punch Girl rolls to her feet and crouch runs along the side of the warehouse toward the rumbling van engines at the front. Nothing stops a gunman like a nose-to-nose meet. "Stop there." I said, "Shut up. I'll talk to you later." "Stop!" Smack! A rifle bullet tears the pavement at Punch Girl's feet, and she falls backward, landing on her shoulders. Her feet cycle, scooting her away from the edge of the building. "Are you okay? Are you hit?" "They have a sniper?" There are 6 men inside, 2 seated in the vans, and 4 searching the warehouse. They think you're inside, or they did. They are communicating with the 7th man, the sniper. Central says, "The vans and the warehouse walls prevent line of sight from the shooter, so you have a small window. Retreat is a choice." "What about shut up? Don't you understand?" From her back, Punch Girl grips a canister and pops the lever. Smoke pours from the device, and she heaves it over the corner of the warehouse roof and listens as it lands on the other side with a satisfying clack. She waits a few moments for the smoke to billow past her position, and she slips into the mist. Blindness envelops her, swirling in gray. But her attackers have that disadvantage and one more. They are dumb enough to keep talking. Punch Girl stalks the first voice she hears, and she recoils, nearly bumping the black denim appearing like a ghost ship at sea. A few pops, twists, rips, stomps, and slams later, the first man whimpers on the ground. The struggle attracts the others, and Punch Girl circles away, taking 2 of the men from behind, disabling wrists, fingers, and windpipes, free from the worry of gunfire. The intruders can't risk shooting their teammates or themselves. If only it were that easy. "Behind you!" Central's warning came too late, and a flash of blinding white pain paralyzes Punch Girl. Her face smacks to the warehouse floor, and footsteps shuffle behind her. The gunman radios his success, and Punch Girl braces for a kick. "Roll, now!" Punch Girl rolls like a log, every bit as blind and unaware, and pistol shots strike the pavement. Pop, pop, pop. Eyes watering, nose flowing into her mask, Punch Girl springs to her feet, and her hands launch. They catch a combination of fabric and hair, and they latch onto both. Her victim struggles, but Punch Girl drops, toppling the man with her weight and her furious digging fingers, and in the fading mist she mounts her prey. She wails, fists flying, bending things that don't want to bend, and breaking things that resist breaking. The man's cries tell her she won, and she rolls off him. "That's 4. Central says, "The others are leaving. Let them go." Punch Girl sprints toward the vans, bursting from the cloud like a dragon 15 feet from the lead van. A rifle shot cracks far over her head, and the van driver's eyes widen as he fumbles with the shifter. Punch Girl slams the passenger side of the vehicle, splayed flat, and pistons a fist through the window. She slips inside, half in, half out, bent over the window threshold, and her enraged hands grip the driver. "Get over here!" She falls backward, dragging the driver through the smashed hole with her, and they tumble to the pavement. The driver struggles, but his grunts escalate to shrieks after Punch Girl does a little groin work. "Sorry, boys. No rules here. With your muscles, you get one glaring weakness. Should have worn a cup." Punch Girl collapses with her back to the van's wheel as one of the 3 vehicles roars away. In the following silence, Punch Girl says, "Can I move?" Central says, "Best to wait. The gunfire attracted the police. You'll have an escape window before they arrive." 12 minutes later, the first sirens drift over the warehouses. As they approach, Central gives Punch Girl the all clear along with the best exfil route. By the time the police arrive at the scene, Punch Girl clambers over a chain link fence bordering a vacant, overgrown field and disappears among the shadows. I'm out. We need to talk. Understood. Standing by. Chapter 3. Forced to leave the motorcycle behind, Punch Girl arrives at the warehouse after a long trek on foot. She enters through an elevator and speaks before her first step lands inside. Start talking. I'm pleased you are safe and unharmed. Punch Girl's chuckle carries no levity, no humor. It's the laugh of a predator cornering difficult prey. She sits in her chair and places her hands flat on the tabletop where she can monitor them. Oh, I'm harmed. I understand your anger, which is justified. I deceived you. You lied to me. I was trying to protect you. My methods may have been insane? Central hesitates. I was going to say unorthodox. Well, tell it to your next partner, because I am shutting you down. This is over. You are so fired? I was going to put some extra sauce on it, but yeah, you're goddamn fired. Even though I saved your life? The laughs burst from Punch Girl and batter the warehouse ceiling. Are you serious? You endangered my life. I strongly disagree. Good for you. Punch Girl fumes in silence, and as she exhales the fury from her mind, unclouding it, questions arise. Many questions. But a particular manipulation stabs her chest with an icicle. Did you know I would go out tonight? Yes. After our discussion last night, I wanted to show you your success, and I knew that if I advised you to take a night off, you would reject my advice. So you knew I took the punch suit and avoided the warehouse. I wasn't watching you, but it didn't require a master detective to figure out. Punch Girl's finger taps a rapid beat against the table. It started without her knowledge, which fits. Add it to the list of things operating on their own. Did you set up the robbery tonight? You already asked that. Did you? No. Why would I do that? You could have been killed. Maybe you worked it out so I wouldn't. You're assuming far too much about my capabilities and motives. I kind of have to, don't I? With no actual information, I could assume a lot about your motives. Central pauses for several seconds. The ship channel robbery fit a larger pattern. It was a prediction made from intelligence gathered over the past week. Gathered where? From my patrols. Some data came from there. The rest developed through citizen contacts, freelance journalists, online sleuths, police chatter, and others. It's all multiple steps removed from even anonymous contact. They are unaware they are passing information to anyone, certainly not Punch Girl. A second tapping finger joins the first, and Punch Girl watches both fidget in their blue glove material before stopping them. I didn't think it was possible to get more upset, but here I am. I've discovered a whole new garden to play in. All of this was done with your well-being in mind. What else? Punch Girl lowers her voice to a growl. I was there before the thieves. You had cameras on site. What else have you been doing? The time and location of the robbery fit a pattern, and traffic cameras showed the vans headed in that direction. Traffic cameras, Punch Girl says. It seemed like a more dangerous confrontation than your usual nightly encounters, and it matched the type you had hoped for, so I knew you would take it, and I wanted to watch your back. The ship channel warehouses were a new patrol zone for you, so I needed to monitor them. The installed surveillance cameras helped, you must admit. If anything saved you, they did. And they include tech that isn't present in the punch suit. Recording capability, various vision modes, IR, telephoto, night vision. We should discuss upgrading your suit. How do you monitor my usual patrol zones? What do you mean? You said this was new, it was extra, so you installed surveillance. What about the old spots? What are you doing there? You make it sound nefarious. Change my mind, Punch Girl says, her words clipped and sharp as razor blades. My goal is to offer tactical support within acceptable parameters. If you think you're going to bore me out of this conversation, you're wrong. I'm on the edge of my seat for this little tale. After a brief pause, Central says, "The punch suit broadcasts limited biometrics, so I monitor those, obviously." Obviously, gotta watch those kooky biometrics. A certain segment of the social media sphere tracks your activities. Nothing viral. Far from it, but when you appear, they talk. And I try to steer that conversation in a favorable direction. What else? Outside the monitoring and the surveillance and the social media, what else are you manipulating? The occasional police report or news coverage can be suppressed or redirected to an agreeable narrative. What about me? What buttons are you pushing? Certain conversations relieve stress for you, and you'll agree. Stress is something we want to manage. So you bring up topics to manage my stress. Like what? Family? Work? What distractions help me decompress? Broader events in society. You can't control them, but if you grew into a larger platform, you could. It's frustrating but aspirational at the same time. A chuckle rumbles deep in Punch Girl's chest. Frustrational aspiration. That's catchy. You should run a seminar. There are several components at play here. Your physical well-being matters, of course. This job takes a psychological toll, not only because you must confront the city's hardened, desperate citizens and the rotten truth that drives them, but also because you must separate yourself into two people. Total division. A life lived in parts, full and then forgotten. I think you have addressed the first half, but not the second. Then, there's your career, which we view through different lenses. We do now, that's for sure. You are impatient, which is your nature. Success as a vigilante crime fighter requires that quality, along with others society labels as a negative, but it exists in conflict with itself. The patience required for long-term platform success yields zero short-term progress, but the hunger to engage what others fear can end a career before it reaches its potential. Boredom or burnout, a long life or a quick anonymous death, it's a paradox, and whether or not you see it, you carry it with you. Gosh, look at me, I'm so complicated. You're mocking me because you're angry, but all of this comes down to one thing: Punch Girl's success. It's all I want. It's why I'm here. Punch Girl stands and clasps her hands. Well, thank you for that fabulous explanation of your secret life as God and puppet master. That's not what I'm saying. No, it is. I am not Punch Girl. I am an ad for Punch Girl, a cutout, a construct for you to prop up and play with and tell yourself how talented you are. Imagine your success if you can shepherd your frail little creation to stardom. You're Geppetto, and I'm Pinocchio, and gosh darn it, maybe one day I'll be a real Punch Girl. All of this support is for you, and we can discuss boundaries. I can't trust you. Punch Girl's fists quiver at the ends of her arms, and her rigid muscles vibrate with electricity. Blackness surrounds her vision, and a single word or sound will launch her into a rage. This is the face she wants to show the city. It's the anger that quiets a room, full-blown danger, as lethal and shocking as a tiger entering through the door. Punch Girl's pain and darkness run deeper and colder than anyone she confronts, has ever confronted. There is no long-term, no short-term. There is no failure because there is no bottom. At her core, Punch Girl wants to punish, not uplift. Set an example? Create a better world? If that happens, fine, but it's not her goal. Punch Girl wants the opposite. She wants to grab the shoulders of the bullies, the tough guys, the ones who dispense pain, and show them. She wants to wrap them in a bear hug and dive, plummet, never letting go and watching their smirks fade, their crafty eyes twinkle. And as the environment grows colder and darker, that twinkle disappears, replaced by squirming worry. This isn't what they thought it was, and the negotiations begin. What do you want? I'll give you anything. Let me go. Please. Their pleas fill Punch Girl like a holiday dinner warms a family, and face to face, her unlucky passengers see the change. Their fear nourishes her. She swallows it, licking her lips, and it adds a smirk to her cheeks and a twinkle to her eye. She is showing them her home, empty, worthless, dead. She is bringing them there to stay forever, damaged, soulless. She is not like them. Happiness is a monster. On the surface, the beast lives inside her, and if she can't let it out to feed, it will consume her. Central misunderstands this. For all the data and interpretation and strategy, Central knows nothing about her. She cannot fail any more than a starving person can fail to eat. They will or they won't. There's food or there isn't, and people live or die by that reality every day. In her search for satisfaction, Punch Girl will live or die, regardless of schemes or tactics. It's her fault. She can't allow people in, like showing someone the last half hour of a horror movie. It's too much. There's no context, no buildup. It's all screams and gore, and the audience turns away, disturbed and confused. How can she share that? It led Central to a second misunderstanding, a fatal one. He can't make an enemy of her. Punch Girl bites without warning, and she never forgets. Experience has taught her hard lessons, and trust is top among them. Those who betray once will do it again. Teach them and move on. I'm leaving, she says, grabbing the punch suit's mask on her way past the table. Going home? It's none of your business. Don't be here when I get back. Punch Girl enters the elevator and leaves the warehouse. Chapter 4. By the time Punch Girl finds a rooftop, the morning sun splits the horizon with a band of gold. The band widens and the hue fades to yellow and white as the night surrenders and the city awakens. From her perch, Punch Girl observes the tempo and pulse of the population alive. Like a living organism, the city breathed in the dark of night and exhaled light and noise and hustle that blossomed and multiplied. Motion and activity inject optimism into the surroundings, and a familiar unwelcome emotion grips Punch Girl's arms in its chilly fingers. Hope. For most, hope is positive, but it conflicts with Punch Girl's nature. She knows better, so the emotion feels misplaced, like a glove on the wrong hand. Hope lingers, though, and like everything else, it devolves into a contest of wills. She can take Hope's cooing and caressing until its bony hands move on to a more receptive target. In the meantime, she observes. Hours pass, and no patterns emerge, which is fine. She sees and her brain records, and a set of random events today could resolve into a pattern tomorrow. It takes time, which she is not allowed Central. Like she watches the city, Central watches her, and learns. His dual sins are misreading her and trying too hard. Neither are mortal sins if they are transgressions at all. They are. Central broke her trust, but how long can she do this alone? She already walked many miles on that road, and it led her to Central. As emotional as she can be, she is also a creature of intellect. Brains win always. A mixture supercharges the impact, but nothing beats data. Walking into a situation with every angle covered makes her more of a superhero than any gadget or ability. To surprised prey, it looks like magic. She can do it all alone. She has before, but she will make mistakes. The wrong one will kill her. A partner to remind her of that, even in contradiction, could save her. She needs a partner she can trust. Are you watching me? Silence. Are you there? I'm here, but I'm not watching, Central says. Punch Girl says, I like the idea of the suit upgrades. It would make you more autonomous and certainly more dangerous. I'm coming back. I'll be here. Half an hour later, Punch Girl sits at her table, facing her computer monitor. Show me everything. A 3D map appears on the screen, displaying a sprawling view of the city with several highlighted pockets. Central explains that those areas contain the freelance informants he mentioned, and they also coincide with Punch Girl's usual routes of patrol. Central was directing her to them, not the other way around. The map swaps with a set of charts, graphs, and spreadsheets, cataloging Punch Girl mentions across social media, including hashtags and directional analysis. Central says, it looks more impressive than it is. There's almost no traffic in the aggregate, but it's scalable. You really know how to make a hero feel important. Well, this one you won't like as much. The dataset switches for a new one, which displays a set of behavioral prediction models for Punch Girl. Central hurries past that and presents a list of influential businesses and media outlets that have indicated a positive perception of vigilantes or Punch Girls specifically. The final few charts and notes include map coordinates with embedded criminals and significant police presence, including undercover. Central explains he was redirecting Punch Girl from those areas to avoid overexposure. That's our big problem. I'm too exposed. Within problematic groups like the police and organized criminals, yes. Otherwise, you are underexposed. We would like to reverse that. Punch Girl digests the information. Is this it? You needed this infrastructure, in my opinion. You have opinions now? Many. Save them. What else don't I know? That's it. Anything else you'll hear first. Central pauses and says, May I say something? Do I have a choice? Punch Girl winces. That was mean. Yes, say whatever you want. You questioned your effectiveness, and I wanted to ensure you accomplished your goals. What you have achieved, even though it scratches the surface, is real, and you did it. I can't move you in the field. When you fight 6 men at once and win, that's you. I can't manufacture that. It's both frightening and empowering. I agree. Without support, your risk increases, and over time, that curve rises exponentially. I can't protect you from what I can't see, but this is your project. I came to it late, and in my excitement, I overstepped my role. This is your thing. I work for you, so we'll do it your way. Which is what? I'll shut it all down. Reduce scope, total focus on your safety, advise and support. We build from there. Punch Girl's head bobs left and right. I don't know. Didn't I fire you? I have no recollection of that. I must have purged it with the other data. Punch Girl pauses. Can I trust you? Without question. Can I give you unvarnished advice? Now? In perpetuity. Can you take it? Punch Girl chuckles. Central understands her better than she thought. She can take a lot, but he nailed her one weakness. Contrary opinion. Probably not, she says. We'll work on it. I bet. Punch Girl stares at her monitor for a few moments and says, Don't manage me. Understood. If you have something to say, say it. I'll push back, but stand your ground if you think you're right. Also, hide nothing from me. I would prefer to take that on a case-by-case basis. Some information could compromise your effectiveness. It could distract you at least. Fine. If you want to make that call, prepare to take your medicine afterward. Help me. Don't protect me. Central pauses. Those two are sometimes difficult to distinguish. Figure it out or find another superhero to work with. This is the big boy game. I'll win or lose by my actions, not yours. Understood. Punch Girl stands and says, Yeah? Let's see. Chapter 5. As dusk forces the last light of day from the sky, the city's shadows grow long and dark, and Punch Girl steers her motorcycle into one of them. From a saddlebag strapped to the bike, Punch Girl removes a tablet and switches it on. Show me. A 3D city map appears, bristling with activity. Much of the action bunches in areas her usual patrols never take her. Central withheld this from her, but she squashes the spike of irritation that accompanies the thought. They have either resolved this, or they haven't. Central is showing her now. Punch Girl points as if Central could see her and says, What are these dark areas? Those are your usual patrols. At certain times, the target areas go quiet. Because they're adapting to me? That's a logical conclusion. She assumed she was making no difference at all. This impact is small, but it's not nothing. She will want to remember that. One tiny domino topples the whole pile. Appreciation for Central blooms in Punch Girl's chest, but like the criticism, she squashes the praise. They are on the job. Where are we headed? Central says. Soto. I knew you'd say that. You knew, or an algorithm predicted it? Does it matter? Maybe. A smirk accompanies Central's words. It's the place I least wanted you to go, so you picked it, of course. Punch Girl grins beneath her mask. Central is learning. She stows the tablet and steers the motorcycle into an alley. Over the engine's thrum, she says, "Get used to it." The end.